Okay, and welcome to my hobby bench and an old school style video. When I say old school style, it's because I've got my Canon handheld camera just angled up here at the end of the table, angled down to give you this strange angle, because the other camera that normally looks straight down is going to be in the truck so I can go out and do engine runs. So this is more for me than for anyone else, I suppose, but I am going to be disassembling this beautiful Saito 220 engine in preparation for a bearing replacement, which is the whole purpose of doing this. This engine is an engine that an awesome friend and continued monthly contributor to my channel, Keith, so graciously gave to me, like, gosh, maybe almost 3 years ago. And I've run this engine a few times, and it was fairly new and unused, or lightly used, when he gave it to me. So it doesn't have a whole lot of runtime on it. It doesn't have a whole lot of reason for the bearings to be replaced, other than the fact that if I make bearing videos for Boca, and it's an engine that's I've never done before, kind of like making their video bearing installation video database, then I get paid for it. So I'm doing this for money, as well as just putting new bearings in this beautiful engine. So the only thing I'm not prepared for right now is I do not have a spare gasket set. So I'm kind of hoping, and I'm not entirely sure how much of this I'm actually going to be putting in the ultrasonic and cleaning it, but I'm really kind of hoping that this gasket here, that the gaskets themselves survive, so that I don't really have to purchase another set, because I have a feeling that a gasket set for this is probably, even from my gasket suppliers, probably on the order of $15. But we'll see. We'll see what the gasket's like, if they survive. So that one, see, I don't know if I really want to sit here and screw with that. That's why, if this head is in good shape and is clean, I'm not going to put it in the ultrasonic, because externally it looks beautiful, and I'm sure it looks just as good on the inside. So I'm going to just say right now, there's a little bit of the gasket that came off there. I'm going to say right now that I'm not going to be ultrasonicing cleaning this head. Yeah, I'll worry about that at a later time. Now this carb I'll put in there because it's got some residue there, or maybe just take the barrel out and clean it. But like I said, for the most part, the whole purpose of this is strictly just to replace the bearings. There's really nothing wrong with this engine. And I do have a set of bearings on hand for this, and believe it or not, at least unless there's a major error in Boca's website, it looked like the bearings for this are the same as for the 120s, because I believe they're the same kit number. I'd have to take a look and see. Not entirely sure. So that's beautiful. So again, let me just grab a paper towel here. I'm just going to start wiping parts, because as nice as this looks right off the bat here, I'm not going to ultrasonic clean this. If it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, maybe I'll just do a little bit of alcohol and toothpick, or not toothpick, a Q-tip, and clean that. I do as little to this as possible, is the bottom line. Now you may be saying, what the hell is with the blue tape on the crankshaft? That is called, look at all the oil coming out. Let's look inside there. That is called having a prop that's proper prop for this that is drilled larger than the crankshaft, probably because it was going on another engine. So that's how I compensate for oversized props. Now we get to do the fun thing here and get this guy off. So Keith, if you're watching this video, I love you, man. You're an awesome person. Okay, so that's awesome individual. This is looking like I'm not really getting this in the frame, but like I said, this is pretty much more for my purposes. I'm just going to put a lot of pressure on that and then heat it up and then watch it click. Watch that thing pop off. And of course I wasn't prepared with my heat gun and gloves, so let's get that here. I've got a timer set on my phone that's going to go off in 17 minutes, so hopefully I'll be done with this by then. Not because I'm trying to see how fast I can do this, but just because I've got so many other things going on, and I have to set timers to remind me when to start cooking my meals, and so I can get to where I need to be. Okay, watch this. This might just pop right off here. I've got quite a bit of pressure on it. A lot of mass here though too, and I got a fan blowing right on me because it's warm in this apartment. Wow, that's really not coming off yet. I got a lot of pressure on that thing. I have already broken free these head bolts, so I can start taking those off. Go ahead and remove the head if I can find a drive here that'll facilitate that. I'm really shocked that that thing is still on there. It was really hot. Even that puller is hot. I'm going to have to put ice on it and then shock it that way, thermal shock it. I don't want to have to do that. I like that thing to just pop right off. Okay, there's our head, and one of our push rod tube things came out. So that is not my timer. kind of warm. Let's pop this massive piston out here. Yeah, look at that. The engine's basically brand new. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this piston back in here. Yeah, there's no compression on this because I don't have a glow plug in there. Let's see what this message is. Okay. So as you can see in here, you know, and the thing is, when I take these bearings off, assuming I can get this front housing off, I'll probably be just keeping those bearings because they're not bad. They're probably more than good enough to reuse. So far we've been very, I've been very lucky with this gasket thing. Let's see if I get just as lucky with this one here. Looks like I'm going to, because this cover is just wanting to come right off here, so that usually means that gasket's good. And I'm not gonna, I doubt I'll be putting this in the ultrasonic cleaner. That gasket is quite well adhered to the top of the crankcase, so that's gonna require that I either put those back on or be extremely careful. Alright, here we go. There we go. Gasket's off and we're cool. Alright, now the only thing left is to really get this front housing off here. Man, this is, let me my glove again here. I'm going to heat the living crap out of this and see what happens again. Yeah, it's still so hot the oil is already smoking just from me putting it on there. I had no idea it was going to take so long just to get this dry polished. I've never had one take this long to get off using this technique. In fact, this is taking so long you're probably never going to hear most of this because it's probably going to be edited out. There we go. That did it. Just use the mallet and a piece of wood to get it off. I was really kind of hoping for something a little more dramatic, but sometimes you take it as it comes. I bet you anything this crankshaft wants to come out of here right now because of how hot it is. So let's see if I can not burn anything here. All of this shit is hot. The bearing didn't come out with it. It looks like there might be a lip on it though, so that's alright. I guess that's alright. Don't have much choice, it is what it is now. Let's see if I'm getting this front bearing out of here. Bearings out. Okay, good. I can get a lip on this thing here. Although, that's not really as hot as I thought. So I'm going to oil this thing up. And now I'm going to heat that up rather dramatically. Siri, stop timer. Bearings out. Alright, that's it. I'm done. There's your disassembly of this engine 4 bearing replacement.